Picture this. It's 2 a.m., and Sarah sits at her kitchen table, bills scattered before her like fallen leaves. Her husband lost his job 3 months ago. Her teenage son is struggling with depression, and the medical bills from her mother's cancer treatment keep mounting. She buries her face in her hands and whispers, "God, I don't know how much more I can take." Maybe you know Sarah's story because it's your story too. Different details, same desperate heart. The weight of caring for aging parents while raising struggling children. The crushing loneliness after divorce papers were signed. The fear that grips you when the doctor says, "We need to run more tests." The suffocating anxiety of watching your dreams slip away one disappointment at a time. If this is you, beloved, lean in close. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. Psalm 18 was written by someone who understood that feeling of drowning in circumstances beyond his control. David wasn't sitting in a comfortable palace when he penned these words. He was running for his life, surrounded by enemies, betrayed by those he trusted. Yet from that dark place, he discovered something that will revolutionize your relationship with God. "I will love thee, O Lord, my strength." Notice David doesn't begin with his problems or his pain. He starts with love. In the middle of chaos, when everything in you wants to question why God allowed this to happen, David teaches us to whisper instead, "Lord, I choose to love you. Even now, especially now, you are my strength." And this isn't denial of pain, it's the conscious choice that transforms victims into victors. "The Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer." Feel these words in your chest. When Sarah's world was crumbling at that kitchen table, God was still her unmovable rock. When you received that devastating phone call, He was still your fortress. When you felt like you were drowning, He was already diving deep to be your deliverer. Not a rock somewhere out there, but your rock. Not a distant fortress, but your safe place. Not just any deliverer, but your personal rescuer who knows your name and your pain. Here's where it gets personal. "In my distress I called upon the Lord and cried unto my God. He heard my voice." Your 3 a.m. whispered prayers don't get lost in cosmic noise. Your desperate plea in the hospital corridor doesn't wait in some heavenly queue. Your silent cry for help during that difficult conversation with your teenager. God hears it all. He's not monitoring 7 billion people from a distance. He's intimately present with you, bending His ear to catch every word, every sigh, every silent scream. David paints a picture that should take your breath away. Then the earth shook and trembled. The foundations also of the hills moved. He bowed the heavens also and came down. When you pray, heaven moves. Not metaphorically, but literally. The God who spoke galaxies into existence drops everything to respond to your cry. Smoke rises, fire blazes, and the Creator of the universe rides on the wind to reach you. Your seemingly small problem triggers cosmic intervention. But here's the part that will make you weep with gratitude. He brought me forth also into a large place. He delivered me because He delighted in me. God doesn't just pull you out of the pit. He brings you into spacious places of freedom, purpose, and unexpected joy. And the reason? Not because you earned it, not because you prayed perfectly, but because He delights in you. Right now, with all your flaws and failures, your Heavenly Father's heart sings over you. When life feels impossibly dark, remember David's words, "For thou wilt light my candle. The Lord my God will enlighten my darkness." When God doesn't send a servant to deal with your depression, anxiety, or confusion, He personally comes to light your candle. Picture Him cupping His hands around the flickering flame of your hope, protecting it from the winds of despair, breathing life back into what you thought was extinguished forever. "For by Thee I have run through a troop, and by my God have I leaped over a wall." What walls tower before you today? The impossibility of paying this month's rent? The mountain of rebuilding trust after betrayal? The overwhelming challenge of starting over at 50? Here's your breakthrough moment. With God, you don't just survive these obstacles, you leap over them. You become a wall leaper, a giant slayer, an impossibility breaker. The most tender revelation comes in these words: Thy gentleness hath made me great. Not God's power, not his miracles, but his gentleness. The same hands that carved out canyons touch your wounded heart with infinite tenderness. His gentle whisper of "I love you" in your darkest hour. His patient comfort when you make the same mistake again. His soft correction when you wander. This gentleness transforms ordinary people into extraordinary overcomers. So how do you live this truth? Start tomorrow morning before your feet hit the floor. Whisper, "Lord, you are my strength today. I will not fear because you are with me." And when anxiety knocks on your door, declare aloud, "The Lord lives, and blessed be my rock. I will not be moved." When facing an impossible situation, remember you serve the God who maketh my feet like hinds' feet. He makes you sure-footed like a deer navigating the steepest, most treacherous cliffs. Prayer isn't just asking God for help. It's warfare against fear, a shield against despair, a bridge back to joy. Every time you pray, you're not speaking to empty air. You're connecting with the God who fights for you, who delights in you, who will never leave you to face anything alone. Sarah, sitting at that kitchen table, didn't know that her 2 a.m. prayer was about to unleash heaven's intervention. Within 2 weeks, her husband found a better job. Her son's counselor made a breakthrough, and an unexpected insurance settlement covered the medical bills. Not because she prayed perfectly, but because she prayed to a perfect God who delights in rescuing his children. Your story is still being written, beloved. The chapter you're in right now, the one filled with struggle and uncertainty, is not the end. It's the setup for God's next great demonstration of his faithfulness in your life. You are held in hands that created galaxies. You are loved by a heart that beats with infinite compassion. You are being lifted, even now, into the spacious places of his grace. Walk into today knowing you are not alone in your struggle, not forgotten in your pain, not abandoned in your fear. You are his beloved child, and your cry has already ignited heavenly action on your behalf.